What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the next installment in our Doors album review series. Nick and Scott are joining me once again. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
All right.
Good.
Well, tonight we are kind of at the end of an era with the Doors. Sadly, the last album with Jim Morrison on lead vocals, and that is L.A. Woman, released on April 19th, 1971. So here's a little bit of the
Background information.
sixth studio album by the Doors. Sadly, the last album with Jim Morrison on lead vocals. He died 2 months and 2 weeks following this album's release. He died of a drug overdose at the age of 27, part of that infamous 27 Club. This album was seen as this was actually one of their most critically acclaimed albums. A lot of people love Jim Morrison's vocal performance, some of the more stripped down approaches to this album. There's a lot more blues influence on this album than some of their previous albums. And a lot of people thought that was a great return to form, much like the sound that was on their debut album. This album garnered 2 top 20 hits, Love Her Madly and Riders on the Storm, which are seen as 2 of the greatest Doors songs. And I think to this day, L.A. Woman is seen as one of the best Doors albums. What are your guys' initial thoughts on the album?
Well, you want to hear my brief thoughts? I think it's a lot better than the last album. If you remember our previous album review, I was not a fan of that one. I thought the first half was really good. Like first 5 songs were really good, and then took a big nosedive after that. This album, on the other hand, I think it's really good. It's in my top 3 Doors albums, and I'm looking forward to reviewing it.
I really like this one because it sounds a lot different than some of their other stuff. You were talking about the blues influence. For one thing, Jim Morrison is in top form vocally here. I mean, not like he was bad before. He's like one of the best singers, but like he's on like another level on this album. I really don't know what it is, but like his voice just has an extra oomph in this album that it makes it really good. Features some of my favorite Doors songs. It's really good musically as well. Some of the instrumentals from the other guys, Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and John Densmore are really good. And the album cover is really cool too. I don't know if you can see it here, but like this is like a plastic thing with their pictures put on it. See, that's just a yellow sleeve. It's like a window, like a plastic window. So let's see if we can see it better there. And then it also is trying to put this back in. I don't want to damage it because it's old. But also the fact that it's not like a square, like it's got rounded edges, I think is cool as well. So, cool album cover, cool vocals, cool instrumentation. It also features my favorite Doors song, which I'm not going to say what that is right now, but we'll get to that whenever we get to the ranking.
All right. The Doors have kind of had a crazy track record with me. I historically was not a big fan of their debut album. I thought it was a little overrated. And I had a big hot take the last time that my favorite Doors album that we covered was the last album, Morrison Hotel, which neither of you guys cared for as much.
There's still some good stuff on it. I just didn't like it as a whole.
Yeah. So what are my thoughts on L.A. Woman? I think it's a good swan song for Jim Morrison. I think he has some of his best vocals in his entire career on this album. He's really grown a lot as a vocalist, and it's a shame that he abused drugs to the point where he died so young, because he could have had a great career if he had made better life choices. There are some great stuff musically on this album. There's a couple songs on here I'm not as crazy about, but it's still a really good album. I'm excited to talk about the best of the best on this album.
Oh, there's one more thing that I was going to mention and I forgot. You know how the Doors don't have a bass player when they play live? Well, in the studio, the bass player on this album is Jerry Scheff. I don't know if you know that name, but Jerry Scheff was the bass player for none other than the king himself, Elvis Presley.
Oh, wow. I just did not know that until you said that just now. That is awesome to hear.
That's why the bass is really good on this album, is because it was Jerry Scheff playing it.
Gotcha. Well, let's get into the track listing. The album opener on this album, speaking of a song with a great bass on it, The Changeling.
Yeah, this is an awesome way to open up the album. It's not one of their, it's not a known song of theirs, but it should have been. It should have been a single, if you're asking me. It's like got great keyboards. I wouldn't say it's bluesy, but it's like kind of like it's rocking at the same time. It's like bluesy rock at the same time. And one thing you notice is Jim Morrison singing a lot more different than he normally does. What Scott was mentioning before, and he kind of changes his vocal style, which he doesn't sing, never sing like this before. Kind of has like a more like tougher vocals, I would say, like kind of like a hard to describe, but it's different. It's really good. I mean, not even like singing wise, like before he even starts singing, he's kind of like ooh, like he's kind of like showing like he's changing, and his vocals are really good on here. I've been uptown, I've been downtown, I've been all around. Yeah, very, very great opening song. Arguably their best opening track, in my opinion. I mean, they've had a lot of great album openers throughout the years. I don't think they had a single bad album opener. This was definitely one of the better album openers for me. Yeah, terrific way to open up this album.
I love just how rocking this song is right away with the keyboards like and then you get those more heavy vocal, like aggressive vocals. I live uptown, I live downtown, and then he's like, I never mess around with the people I meet. I'm a wow, he gets that scream there. I'm a changeling. Dun, 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 dun. The whole time you're just like, this is a groove. And then there's like a key change at the end where it gets even higher, and then does that scream again with that wow. Man, this is one of my favorite songs on this album, and honestly one of my favorite Doors songs. It's so groovy.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you guys. This is one of the best songs on the album. This is my vote for the best discovery on this whole album. This song is epic in every sense of the word. I love the production on here, the keyboard, the bass from Elvis's bass guy, Jerry. He's awesome on this whole album. This is one of his highlights. I love Jim Morrison's vocals. Like, he just belts it and screams it the whole time. It reminded me a lot of him channeling James Brown, honestly. I don't know if that was his intention or not, but I guess before Led Zeppelin decided to do the grunge, we got the Changeling. And as much as I love the grunge, I think I like this song even better on a production level.
No, this is better. Crunge is funnier, but this is technically a better song.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we've had great album openers from the Doors, like Break On Through the Other Side and Roadhouse Blues, but man, this one was an epic album opener. This is definitely up there for sure as one of their best ones. And we follow that up with one of the big hits. Oh, before I say that, I did look it up just now. The Changeling, it wasn't a hit song, but it was the B-side to Riders on the Storm. So
Oh, okay.
it's kind of cool that
Definitely a fan favorite though.
Funny enough, I heard it at a Chili's one time.
Oh,
I
really?
was like, is that the Changeling by the Doors? I was like, I didn't know they would play that here.
I've never heard it in the wild.
It needs to be played at a Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
No, you know.
Well, it's better than Take It Like a Friend.
Oh boy.
Now we go to the first of the two hit songs, Love Her Madly.
Love Her Madly. I love this song. It's more, I mean, compared to the last song that was more kind of bluesy rock, this is like very pop like. I mean, of course they've had popish songs before, like Hello, I Love You. That's a pretty good example of that. Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? But this is another example of that. Incredible song. It's one of the songs that get in your head. Like the bass though, incredible. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, don't you love her madly? Don't you love her? You know what I mean? It's a catchy song. It's one of their more catchier songs, and very, very great way to follow up the Changeling.
Another great song here. We're 2 for 2. I can see why this was a big hit. I like how it starts out with the guitar that's like that. And then don't you love her madly? Don't you love her madly? Yeah, I can see why this was one of the big hits here on this album. It's a really great song, and it's definitely in my top 5. What's funny is I don't know how, but I found this video the other day, and it was like this guy going into a record store. It's like, what you got in here that's like, and it was like a SNL bit or something from the 80s. And the guy like lists all these current bands, and the owner's like, oh, well, we have that over there, but it sucks. And he's like, well, what do you have that doesn't suck? I've been thinking about getting into the Doors. Do you have the Doors? He's like, yeah, we got the Doors over there. And he's like, okay, I think I'll start out with the greatest hits. And the guy's like, greatest hits are for housewives and losers. You want to get the album. And he's like, well, I heard a record of theirs called Love Her Madly that I really like. It's like, if you're a real Doors fan, the only Doors song you won't like is Love Her Madly. And I was like, oh, come on. But yeah, it's a really good song.
Yeah, this is one I've heard quite a bit growing up. This is a great Doors song. To be honest, I didn't know this was the Doors until I started paying attention to the band more, because Jim Morrison sounds a lot different on this song than on some of the others. He sounds, I guess, more nuanced on this song compared to the others, because I think it's trying to be like this serious song, but with this catchy little groove to it. Now, I really like that about the song. The guitar work on here is great. I like the organ solo at the middle. That adds to the catchiness of it. For the longest time, I thought the song was called Seven Horses, fun fact. Because that line just stood out. But yeah, Love Her Madly makes more sense because of the context of the song. This is in my top 5. So I don't get why there's some people that despise this song, because it's one of their softer hits, but it's still a great song all the same. All right, next up is Been Down So Long.
That's a really good blues song. This is like now we were talking about blues. This is a straight up blues song. Kind of starts off right away. Well, I've been down so goddamn long. When I first heard that song, I'm like, whoa, we're getting right into it now. It's not a song like, if this was on the last album, I would have said it was like kind of bland and, not something worth writing home about, but his vocals make it really good. And to me, that's what separates this album from the last album. Because the last album had a lot of slower songs, but I don't know why I just felt like by the number type songs. For some reason, when he does it in his voice, in his kind of bluesy kind of voice, like his gruffer voice, it works for me. Like his vocals work for me with this sound, and not like one of my favorite Doors songs, period. But it's a song that I've always really enjoyed on the album.
Here's where we're getting the blues influence. This is just straight up blues. And do the Doors do blues well? Yes. We have, they did Roadhouse Blues on the last album. Some of their other songs have been more bluesy, but here's where they're kind of bringing that influence in. I think it works for the most part pretty good, especially its vocals. And of course, the guitar is good here from Robbie Krieger. But I will say this is probably my least favorite song on the first half of the record. Still pretty good, but there's stuff I like better.
This one's okay. The best thing I can say about it is I love the guitar work. I think this song just feels kind of aimless on a lyrical level. To me, it just sounds like a average blues song. Not that it's bad, and I like the blues style, but I think they've done this better on, well, not just on other songs on this album, but even some of their earlier stuff I like better. Like Roadhouse Blues on the last album is a great example of them doing an awesome blues song. But I think that this one's in my bottom three, but it's not hot garbage. All right. I'm curious what we all think about this next one. This is quite a title. Cars Hiss by My Window. What the heck is that?
Yeah, I think this is a decent song. This is never a song that I really don't go back to. And I mean, I like listening to it, but I'm not like I have to listen to it type songs. It's just it's there for me. Like this is nice, but nothing really much for me to add. It's just an okay song.
We kind of get some more bluesy stuff with this song here. It's pretty good. It's probably my second to least favorite on the first half. We're about to get to the really good stuff on the next song. I don't know if it's this song or the last song, but there's one where there's like it sounds like a guitar solo. It might have been the last song, but it sounds like a guitar solo or harmonica at the end. But that's really just Jim Morrison going. Nick, was that this song or the last one?
I think it's the one you're talking about.
Okay, it's this one. Okay.
Yeah, where he does the weird vocal thing with him. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it sounds like a guitar or a harmonica, but it's actually Jim Morrison singing. And I thought that was cool, but
yeah,
it didn't really stand out as much.
All right. Well, I didn't care for this song. I thought this song was very dull. I can barely remember anything about this song except for the out there title. Jim Morrison sounds like he's singing in his sleep the whole time. Which is weird. I like some slower Door songs. One of my favorites off the last album, Morrison Hotel, was Indian Summer. I thought that was a beautiful song. This one just did not do it for me at all. This is my second to least favorite song on the album. There's one song on side 2 that I think is a lot worse, and we'll get to that when we get there. All right. We close out side 1 with the title track, L.A. Woman.
Yes, L.A. Woman. Now, this is a song I can't talk about. This is actually one of my favorite songs on the album, believe it or not. Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, this is one of their most known songs, up there with like Light My Fire, Touch Me, Hello, I Love You. It's up there with those songs. Oh, just very well-known Doors songs. And for a good reason. A really good song. There's a lot of different parts to it. The lot of great parts to it. I like that initial like riff with the where it kind of sounds like it's like a weird riff at the beginning, but it kind of leads into the song and great lead off to the song. And then my favorite part of the song though is when they go Mr. Mojo rising, Mr. When you keep on rising, Mr. Mojo rising. That's my favorite part of the song. But it's a fun song. Oh, when it was like LA woman, LA woman, LA woman in the afternoon. Into your blues. Yeah, great song. Very classic song.
This one is really good. I love the jamming on here. Just starting right off is such a jam. This is, I think, the longest song on the album, if I'm not mistaken.
7 minutes and 49 seconds. It's the longest song.
Yep, it is the longest song on the album. Riders on the Storm is almost there at 7:14, but
It's cool that the two longest songs are the two side closers.
yeah. But I really just love the jamming on here. It's just like the whole time, like, yeah. And it gets like the LA woman, LA woman. I'm right there with Nick. My favorite part is when he goes like, Mr. Mojo rising. And then it just like gets almost faster and faster, like Mr. Mojo rising. Funny enough, if you rearrange the letters in Mr. Mojo rising, it spells Jim Morrison. It's an anagram. So I thought that was kind of clever. I mean, Jim Morrison was a poet, so he was probably smart enough to figure that out. But I thought that was cool. Yeah, this is one of my top 5 songs as well on the album.
So I think Nick mentioned this was a very famous Doors song, but I've not really heard that song that much. I think I might have heard it in passing at one time, but listening to it earlier today felt like I was listening to it for the first time. And yeah, this song is awesome as you guys are making it out to be. This is one of the best songs on the album. This is easily, I think if I had to give an award to Jam Session, the song, it'd have to be this song. I didn't really look too deep into the lyrics on this one. I know it's about an LA woman, but this one is more about, to me, it was more about the vocal work and the production on it. I guess in a way, this is like their equivalent of Freebird by Leonard Skinner, where you have you got the normal singing, and then you just got some really awesome jam session sections throughout the song, where you really get to see the talent of the band hard at work. And that's what I really loved about the song. That Mojo Rising part was really cool. I like the keyboard work on it. I thought it was a fun little groove. I guess this would be my second favorite discovery on the album behind The Changeling. This one was a lot of fun. All right, so that's the end of side 1. On side 2, we begin with, I'm probably going to botch the title of this, The America.
You said that right. America. That's how they say it on the song. I really, really enjoy this song. I don't know how you guys feel about this one, but it starts off with like a guitar. Boom, boom, it's like starts off creepy. Not like creepy like a certain other song that they made where it's just Jim Morrison absolutely freaking out. Not that creepy, but it's a little creepy, but it's like a nice creepy enough where I feel like all three of us could enjoy it. But I've always really this has always been a song that I really enjoyed. It kind of builds up and kind of picks up at some point. But yeah, this definitely a song that I've always enjoyed on the album.
If you're going to talk about the Doors doing a creepy song that I enjoy, I would point to End of the Night from the first album. That one was really moody, almost had like a Halloween kind of vibe that I was digging. This one, not so much. I like the beginning though. There's like a moody guitar intro that's really cool, but then it just starts going down, 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 and it just goes La America, La America, La America over and over again, and it's like anxiety is building up inside of me here. Like what's going on? And then there's like a middle section where like the keyboard plays something that I think is kind of cool, but then it just goes back to that bow, 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 La America, La America. I'm like, I feel trapped. I feel like I'm trapped. Let me out. I don't like this one. It gave me anxiety. It's my least favorite song on the album.
There is one on side 2 that's my least favorite song on the album. It's not this song. I actually do like this one. So I'm with Nick on this one. I really love the guitar work on this song, and even though it's repetitive, it really stood out, and it made some really cool sounds in the process. I don't know what the America fully is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I read it's abbreviation of Latin America, or is it a continuation of the LA theme from the last song? But whatever. I still think it's a cool vibe. Jim Morrison sings good on it. I don't know if I consider it a top tier Doors song, but I still enjoyed the production on it, and it just barely missed my top 5. All right, so the next song on the album, we're really having the very original titles here. We got The America to Hyacinth House.
This is a really nice song. Definitely one of the nicest. I mean, after the creepiness, that was the last song. Very, very nice, like mellow song to kind of chill you out after what happened the last one, but nothing much to add. Not like one of their best songs, but I've always thought it was really nice.
I thought this one was pretty good. I kind of liked like Nick was talking about, the chill vibe of this one. His voice is again very different. Like he's not singing real on this one, but it's not exactly like he did on the earlier albums either. It's kind of just like very chill, like where we go in the Hyacinth House, kind of just more like that. It'd probably rank somewhere near the middle if I was to rank all the songs on here.
This one actually made my top 5. I actually really like this one. This one I actually did pay attention to the lyrics. I would argue this is probably the saddest song on the album, because it's a song that, if you look at the full context of the lyrics, it deals with loneliness and longing for a friend. And I guess Jim Morrison was at a low at this point in his life, I guess, when he wrote it. And considering this came out before he died, I guess it makes it all the more sadder. But I really like the song on a lyrical level. It shows you how much of a skilled writer that Jim Morrison actually was. I do like the chill sound on the production. This one was another great deep cut on the album. I really liked it. All right, next song is Crawling King Snake. We go from I'm a King Bee by the Rolling Stones to the Crawling King Snake. What's with these king animals that some of these rock artists have?
Yeah. This is another song where I think it's okay. Not like one of my favorite songs in the world from them, but it works. It works pretty well in the mix of the album, but never been one of my favorites.
I actually really liked this one. I think it was the best of the more bluesy songs here on the album. Good riff and kind of just has that good bluesy vibe to it. It's actually in my top 5.
I will say of the 2 bluesiest songs on the album, between this and Been Down So Long, I like this one better. It's not in my top 5, But I think there's some more interesting stuff on this song on a production level than the previous blues song. And Jim Morrison got to play around with his vocals, especially since he's singing about being a crawling king snake. But yeah, I like this one fine. All right, our second to last song. This is probably the last out there title that we got to cover. The Wasp, also known as Texas Radio and the Big Beat.
I'm gonna be really honest. I don't like this song. I just flat out don't like this song. It's never been a song that I ever enjoyed. I try getting into it. There's a lot of things that I try getting into. It's just not a song that speaks to me. For my opinion, what makes this album top 3 for me isn't that as a whole it's one of their best. I'd say the highlights. It's what makes it one of the best in my opinion. But personally, there's a part where he says the Negroes in the forest. Like, oh boy, this album is definitely of its time where in order to just say something like that without, I mean, if he said that nowadays, oh my God, he would get canceled immediately. You know what I mean? When I heard him, I'm like, oh boy. I was like, what the heck is he talking about? And I'm sure you agree with me, Jacob, because you said you do have one least favorite on this side, and I know dang well it ain't.
It ain't Riders on the Storm.
I say I know dang
Crazy.
well it ain't Riders on the Storm. So I know I know you agree with me on this, Jacob, but it's a very odd song and it's weird. It's too much for me personally.
Yeah, I'm with Nick. I feel kind of like the reason this album is good is more for the highlights rather than as a whole. I used to say this was my favorite Doors album, but re-listening to it, I'm like, this has like maybe 4 of my top 10 Doors songs on it. But like all the other songs are just okay to what is this? If I was to say which Doors album was the best all the way through, I would have to go with probably their debut album or honestly, I think Soft Parade is my favorite Doors album now. That one doesn't really have very many songs that I don't like, which is funny because that's a lot of people's least favorite Doors album, but I really like that one. Yeah, this is another one of those songs that's just like, it's a really weird song because you just get like that bum bum bum, but he's just like, I'm gonna tell you about Texas radio and the big beat. Bum, bum, bum. I'm gonna tell you about Texas radio and the big beat. Bum, bum, bum. You know how they do it here in Texas, and I'm like, well, I know about Texas radio. But he just kind of goes on like little rambles, and it's just like, okay. And then there's like a singing part, which is like ba-dum 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 boom ba-dum da-dum. Like I think the singing part is all right, but like the part where he just like kind of does the talking, I don't like that as much. Like the singing part's all right, but the talking kind of makes this song lower for me. Oh, we got a garbage can.
Yeah, this song sucked. I like the guitar part. That's about it. This is another example of rambly Jim Morrison, and that's the Jim Morrison I don't like. This song makes Not to Touch the Earth look like a masterpiece in comparison. So,
oh, wow.
This one was bad. This is just all Jim Morrison rambling nonsense. I can't believe this song is on a finished album. It just felt like, oh, we got this groovy rock song. Jim Morrison, what do you want to sing today? Oh, I don't feel like singing. I'm so ticked off right now. I got to do some rambling here. And then somebody accidentally press the record button while they're trying to play their instruments, and it's just Jim Morrison rambling. That's just what it felt like the whole time listening to this song. And I thought it was awful. I don't think it's the worst Doors song, but probably in my bottom 3 Door songs. At least it's not as long as the end, so it's this is not good. All right, I think we'll all agree that this album closer is a classic. I know we all love this one. It's one of their big hits. Rather's on the Storm.
Yeah, I kind of narrowed it down though. I'm like, yeah, I don't see this song being the one that you didn't like. If you would have been like, I love the Wasp and the Big B, I would be like, no way he dislikes Riders on the Storm. No way.
Yeah.
He's not the hot take guy. I am the hot take guy.
No. Riders on the Storm is a classic song. Why would I hate that song?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's
like,
kind of obvious.
I'm like, you're not the hot take guy. I'm the hot take guy. Don't steal my thunder, but I love this song. This is another classic Doors song. And very, 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 very good song. And it's one of the songs where it's like it's another like kind of creepy song, but like not creepy, but like kind of like mystic and kind of eerie, especially at the very end where it's kind of like where's just the keyboards at the end. But yeah, great song, and I like the whispering. If you do pay attention, while he's singing, there's someone whispering too. You didn't know that, but yeah. Really great album closer.
So this one is really cool. I like how it starts with like the lightning sound effects, and then the keyboards almost make the sound of the falling of the rain. You start out with that boom, dum, 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 bass line, and then you get the falling of the rain sound with the boom, boom, and then you get the voices that come in. Of course, Jim Morrison is just singing "Riders on the Storm," but like Nick was saying, if you listen carefully, there's something underneath this going like "Riders on the Storm." You're like, "Ooh, this is kind of ominous," and it's telling this story of like this convict that escaped from jail, and it's like warning you, like, don't pick up any hitchhikers because it could be this guy. And it's like, oh, that's kind of creepy that it's like you're driving out in the middle of nowhere. I kind of imagine like, you know, the first scene from The Shining where they're up in like the mountains. I imagine that, but it's dark outside and it's raining. And it's like you just like see this shadowy figure pass by in the mist. It's like, nope, don't pick him up, don't pick him up. And you just hear the whole time. Oh, so much good jamming on here. Like they extended it a little bit, and Ray Manzarek really gets to shine on this one with those keyboards. But man, this being Jim Morrison's final performance on a Doors album, he really went out with a bang.
You know what's creepy too is that the last thing he recorded in his career was Riders on the Storm, but the very last thing he recorded vocally was the whispering.
Oh wow!
The last thing he ever recorded before dying. Think about it.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That is wild. Like the whispering is the last thing he recorded on a Doors album before dying. Makes it a little creepier, if you ask me, the whispering. So remember that next time you're listening to the Doors, Riders on the Storm, especially you viewers out there. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite Doors songs. I think even going into this album, I knew this would be one of the album highlights. The keyboard section in this song is legendary. To be honest, I didn't like for the longest time. I didn't even know there was a whisper part. I never paid attention to it until like a year ago. I'm like, is that a mastering error, or is that supposed to be there? And listening to it again on the official. I listened to it on the official Doors YouTube channel, and that was in there. I'm like, oh, I guess this is supposed to be in there. I think that's a cool section. It doesn't distract from the song. I think it adds to the mood of the song. And even with it being 7 minutes long, I think there's some. This is another one that's got some great jamming on it. Lyrically, it's really cool. I think if the Doors hadn't have done those other two albums without Jim Morrison, this would have been a top tier swan song for the band. All right. So, what is everybody's top 5?
Okay, top 5. My number 5, Been Down So Long. Number 4, I'm going to go with Love Her Madly. Number 3, I'm going to go with The Riders on the Storm. Number 2, LA Woman. And number 1, The Changeling.
That's a good choice. My number 5 is Crawling King Snake. Number 4, Love Her Madly. Number 3, LA Woman. Number 2, The Changeling. Number 1, my favorite Doors song is Riders on the Storm.
All right, my top 5. Number 5 is Hyacinth House. Number 4, LA Woman. Number 3, Love Her Madly. Number 2, The Changeling. And this just in. Forget about what I said about Riders on the Storm. That song sucks. My true favorite song on this album, The Wasp. I told you guys, The Wasp is an amazing song.
Way to go, Texas radio.
Yeah, all that rambling that Jim Morrison's done, I'm a secret admirer of that.
Ramble on.
It's an amazing song. Oh, man. Screw that Riders on the Storm. That song sucks. Nah, all honesty, it is Riders on the Storm is my favorite song on the album. All right. So what are you guys going to rate the album?
I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
I was debating on what to give this album because I said before that this was my favorite Doors album, but listening to it again, I'm like, this is not my favorite Doors album. It has a lot of my favorite Doors songs on it, but as a whole, I don't like it as much as some of their other albums, and oddly enough, it might rank actually a bit lower now. I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Definitely for the high highs on here, but some of the songs just were not my favorite on here.
All right. I'm getting the average score set up real fast, so bear with me a minute. All right. So this is seen as one of the best Doors albums. Hot take. I think Morrison Hotel is still my favorite Doors album because I think it had the most consistent track record of Doors songs. This has some of their best production on it and easily some of Jim Morrison's best vocals. I think if you didn't have The Wasp in particular and Cars Hiss By My Window and the track record of songs was more consistent, I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but because The Wasp is on there in particular, and some of the lower songs on the album, I don't think are as strong as some of the songs on other albums. It's going to be an 8 out of 10 for me as well, but it is in my top 3 Doors albums. So it's still one of their better albums as a whole. And I did average it out. Between the three of us, the average is an 8.5 out of 10, which means average-wise, LA Woman is not in our top 3, but it's number 4, just above the debut album. The top 3 on average, Strange Days is our number 3 at a 9 out of 10. Number 2, Waiting for the Sun at a 9.25 out of 10. And the highest one on average is Scott's favorite Doors album, The Soft Parade. We averaged it at a 9.5. That's crazy considering I think a lot of Doors fans hate that album, and yet
That makes me like it even more.
we got as a whole like, yeah, The Soft Parade's a good album.
It's like I said, my two favorite albums are the two albums people usually rank.
I'll be the one with the hot take for once. That's a great album.
Yeah. With Scott, it's Soft Parade. For me, it's Morrison Hotel. So we all got that one.
Yes.
All right, so that's the end of our review of L.A. Woman. Share your thoughts in the comments below what you thought of this album. We got 2 albums to cover left from the Doors. The Doors tried to do a couple albums without Jim. I don't think those albums did as well, but we will have our honest thoughts on these 2 albums. The next one being the album called Other Voices. And considering that one of the songs on the album, I looked this up earlier, one of the songs on the album is called I'm Horny, I'm Stoned. I think it's going to be a rough ride.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see about that.
It's one of the Doors songs of all time.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
What are we, 12? But well, join us next time when we review that album. Until then, we'll see you all in the next one. You guys take care.